Yeah, we're excited. Still starting the second half of the season, which we know is super important. So we definitely want to take advantage of each game that we can, and we're going to try to grow off the positives from last game and work on the things that we can grow in.
And Dustin?
Hey Natalie, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. You talked about positives from that Bay game. You guys fought back twice to get a draw. What were some things that you guys can take from that moving forward here?
Yeah, I think that was a big part of that game, just seeing how we were able to come back twice. I think that's the mentality that we've been working on, because there are some moments this year where we haven't been able to come back and tie it up at the end, and we were able to do that twice. So I think that's a big growth point for us, and that we want to take into the second half of the season, that we're never done until the game's done, and that we can always get another goal and keep pushing like we did in that game.
And you guys played Carolina right before the break. They came back to beat you guys. Now you get them again. Is there a little bit of added motivation for you guys to kind of make things right here?
Yeah, for sure. That one was a hard ending to that game, so we definitely want to come into that game full speed ahead, because yeah, that one wasn't a fun one at the end.
And I know Barb and Michelle back from their international tournaments. Seems like you guys are close to full strength again. What's it like having them back and having everyone back here for this stretch run where you guys try to get back to the playoff spot?
Yeah, it's exciting having everyone back. When we're full strength, that's when we're the best, because we have everyone, and yeah, we're thankful to have them back in the locker room and on the field, because they're great for our team.
Thanks, Natalie.
Thank you.
Okay, Victor, go ahead.
Hi, Natalie. Victor Isaac here with Cortez Nation. I want to ask you on a personal level, how are you enjoying this season? You've had a couple with the dash here. What's also different with this year?
Yeah, it's exciting. We have a great group of players. We are playing a fun style of soccer, and yeah, we have a great thing we're building. So it's been a good year. Obviously, there's been some up and downs where we've had some hard moments and some losses, but we've also had some great moments as well. So we just want to keep growing on those and keep working together, being there for each other. We got a great group here, both talent-wise and personnel-wise. So we just want to try to grow that as best as we can and get the best that we can for this team.
As players, how do you stay focused throughout the season? Obviously, it's a long year. It kind of stretches out. You had a month break. What do you do to sort of stay focused and stay on track here with your goal, which is obviously this year to make the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the culture of the team, just staying with each other, staying positive. We have a great close group, so just kind of leaning on each other and trying to work together to the same goal that we all have, which, yeah, would be playoffs and even further than that. So, yeah, that break also was a great time to just kind of reset, see what we can do, and come into that second half of the season and really give it everything we have towards the end.
Just looking over your career a little bit, you've been in a couple different places. I'm wondering how Houston has stood out to you, the city, the environment, compared to some of the other places you've been.
Yeah, I love Houston. Since the moment I came here, I loved it right away. I love the city. The fans have been with us no matter what. I just really appreciate the support we get from them always, and we feel that when we're out there on the field. And then, yeah, the team and the staff in Houston, just it's a great group of people that are all fighting towards the same goals, and just are great people on and off the field. So I've always appreciated that with Houston.
And one other one, just this one out of curiosity, is I'm looking over your bio. You spent time in Spain?
Yes, I did.
At Betis?
Yep.
Is that correct? And
Yep.
what was that like? And obviously, a obligatory question here with Houston is, did you pick up any Spanish that you brought over?
Yeah, I should be better at Spanish than I am. I did take Spanish like throughout my whole high school and middle school, but once I got over there, it was definitely like I had to practice it, because it was important to be able to communicate to everyone. But it was a cool experience. It was definitely a challenge because it was the first time where I had to play and couldn't fully communicate to everybody, as well as people couldn't really communicate to me. So I learned a lot about the game and learning how to play in those environments. But I met some of the best people that I'll be friends with forever, and I learned so much and grew as a player in person. But yes, my Spanish does still need a lot of work, although it did get better when I was there because I was forced to talk.
The Spanish soccer culture, that sort of shock you a little bit?
Yeah, it was cool to be a part of that. The speed of play and the style of play was super fast over there, and it was fun to play that type of soccer and to play with some of the best over there. I mean, it was fun competing against Barcelona and Real Madrid and those teams. So it definitely helped me in all areas.
Last one on this topic. What's different from your experience between these two leagues?
Yeah, they're pretty similar. I would say our league is super, I don't know if you've noticed, but transitional a lot. It's very up and back, and like you got a lot of pace with the forwards in this league too. And then there are a lot of similarities. It's like that over there too. I feel like even there it's a little bit maybe more technical in some areas. Like it's on the ground, it feels like a little bit more, where here you're kind of doing that. Teams exploit other teams transitionally a little bit more in our league. But there are a lot of similarities. Both kind of do both of those things as well.
Thanks, Natalie. Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, every game is a must-win. So yeah, we approach every game as we have to win, we have to compete. If you look at the last game, there was definitely some positives in terms of what we built from the mid-year evaluation. But yeah, you could say every game moving forward is a must-win. So we're approaching it that way.
How do you see the evolution of your team? Obviously, after last game and heading into this final stretch.
Look, we've worked a lot on our defensive setup, being able to find triggers and cues to press. I think you saw that especially in the first half against Bay. Especially in the first half, I thought our press and counter press was really, really good. Limited Kunanji and their team to not many chances. Obviously, still working on our box org, but yeah, those were positives. We're able to get in the box more, create more chances. So some definitely positive things from what we've been working on.
You returning to your home stadium from the matches you've had this year. What do you think is missing to make that a fortress and somewhere where you can pick up 3 points?
Yeah, I think a performance of two halves. If you look at a lot of the games this year, we've, especially early on, started a bit slow. And then we responded very well. And what I really liked about last game was we started on the front foot from the get-go. So really looking to build off that and then have the second half performances that we've had earlier in the season. So if we can get a 2-half performance, I think we'd be very pleased, and performances and results would begin to fall our way.
I'll have one more. On a personal level, how are you enjoying this year? Your first as a head coach, and what have been some of the challenges you faced here along the way?
I've really enjoyed it. This has been a passion of mine. I love the every day's a new day. Every day's an opportunity to grow. Whether we realize it or not, we all have gaps from where we are and where we want to be. And so the profession always exposes that, regardless of if you're on a winning streak or losing. It doesn't matter. There's always gaps to be working on. And so that's been the biggest challenge, and just working, okay, we have a group of players. How do we, as a coach, always got to ask myself, okay, well, how are we getting the best out of the group? What do we need to be doing, whether it's culture, football? And so that's been an adventure, one that is filled with challenges, but I love every minute that I'm here. So I've been very excited and got a great staff, got great not only technical staff, support staff, and a great group of players that every day are moving in the right direction with an enthusiasm and positivity to keep getting better each and every day.
Dustin, go ahead.
Hey, Fabrice.
How's it going?
Good. Hey, wanted to ask you, I was looking at some stats. You guys lead the league in touches in the midfield third. I know Colaprico and Sheehan have played in almost, I think, all the games for you guys. How important has that been for you guys
Yeah, it's a great stat. I think if you look at one of the things we've really tried to work on is how do we convert final third entries into box entries, successful ones, and so that's been a big thing for ours. So obviously great on the number of touches in the midfield, but ultimately we need to get in the box and create goal scoring chances. So if you look at last game, and we had 20 successful box entries, where the last couple games we've had the last two combined prior to this one total of 15. So just to show you we're making strides in that. So yeah, that's great, but we want to keep getting into the box and keep trying to be a threat for sure.
And I know talking to Natalie yesterday, we talked to her about the North Carolina game that you guys had a couple weeks ago. Had the lead, it slipped away from you guys. How important is that? Getting a chance at them again. I know they're going through some stuff too, but getting a chance to play them again and kind of righting that wrong that you guys had in the previous match.
Yeah, I'd be lying if we didn't have a chip on our shoulder going into this game for sure. And I think the biggest thing we've learned from it, regardless of what happens outside of our control. So whether it's a red card, whether we go down, whatever it is hey, control, we control. We've now exposed them to so many different scenarios. So now it's like, okay, hey, that's our game plan. This happens, we go to this, and we don't skip a beat. And so yeah, I think for us, it's not so much just holding on to a lead. It's okay, how do we create more while putting pressure, while limiting the opposition. So yeah, we're definitely excited for this matchup tomorrow.
Thanks, Fabrice.
Thanks, Dustin.
Diego, go ahead.
Hey, Fabrice. In the game against BFC, the two goal scorers, Kiki and Sophie, are typically not the ones appearing on the score sheet, and this kind of is showing the level of depth that you've been talking about all season. Can you talk to me a little bit about second half of the season, how that's going to really get you guys into picking up a lot of points when maybe exhaustion or things can start creeping in?
Yeah, players can pick up forms at different stages. So Kiki obviously came back from a very long injury last year, and so it took her a while to kind of get up to speed, but we've been very pleased with her progress, and we see her as a big part of this team. I think if you look at her game outside of the goal, like she was really good in leading our counter press and our pressing moments. So that's something we're excited about. And Soph, what I love is embrace whatever role she's been, whether it's been a starter, whether it's been coming off the bench. She has great insight. She's definitely someone I keep close tabs on in communication because she's been around and she has a good pulse of the team. And so she's someone we really respect and value within our group. So those are just two, and different people could play different roles. But yeah, to your point, like people are always ready to step up. So that's what we're excited about second half of the season for sure.
And then talking about those stretches during the second half when it's going to be quicker turnarounds and more games than other practices per usual. Can you talk to me a little bit about how the importance of each practice kind of shifts as there's less room for working on things, tweaking, and making adjustments?
Yeah, and if you take even our climate, so if you go specific to our climate, you obviously know there's the heat piece, and so if you're in a certain temperature for a time, you have to be limited in terms of potentially what you can do. So even more so, you have to be so detailed in what you do on a training pitch, and so every second that you are out there matters. And so I think for us, you're always balancing fitness and freshness. If there's such tight turnarounds, a lot of the players who play a lot of minutes, you're not really worried about the fitness piece, is making sure they're fresh coming into the game. So every player is case by case, but yeah, we are, our performance team, medical team do a great job of keeping tabs on that with recommendations and what we need to do. So we follow that closely, and we're definitely a team in terms of like, okay, how do we optimize players' performance so they're ready to go on the weekend.
Thanks, Fabrice.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, thanks for jumping on. We'll have this and additional items available later today.